everybody, and welcome to Let's Build, live from Oak Hill Works, a strange land where likes and subscribes are more important than anything, and you are still notified by the sound of a bell. I think that'll keep the YouTube gods happy. How are we all this evening? It's good to see so many faces here at the start of the stream, and my chatbot has finally kicked in and is working. Even if the chat that sits directly in front of my face isn't that nice of it? So yes, the day has finally come. We are going to start work on lining the i3. And obviously Alex is going to plug the social medias and the donations. Thank you, Alex. Much appreciated. Oh, even the website. Much appreciated, Alex. Thank you very much. So yes, I hope we are all well. I wonder, can I make this? I can. Right then, the day of reckoning is here. Indeed, Javier. We have the EB models transfers. The link to Ian's website is down below, because for once I have been efficient. The i3 itself has been coated in gloss varnish through the week, so is very nice and shiny, ready for transfers. The duster brush is ready to make sure everything is clean before we apply a transfer to it. The water is here. There's even a Christmas tree up. The only thing left to do is something I purposely left. Oh, look, there's the Streamlabs logo on the screen. Isn't it wonderful, that new watermark they put in? I really must find some new streaming software so that we can get rid of that. Either that or I need to buy a webcam, in which case Alex has already posted the donation and Patreon links. Through the week, not yesterday at all. No, not yesterday at all. I believe it was Friday, actually, Linny. So yes, there's only one thing left to do that I've purposely left till we're on stream, to make a point of pointing out that it is something to do before starting work on putting the transfers on. I'll be cutting the transfers with the knife. So we are going to ditch this blade, which now has a very flat end on it. And we shall be getting a brand new blade on the knife. I would advise always doing this when starting a job like this, to get the cleanest cut you can. Not my chat on my phone screen is all over the place, so hopefully I'm going to be able to see the webcam from the chat on my screen from where I am, because my screen is not where it normally is, just out of view there, because there is the big Christmas tree there, because you know, gotta have a big Christmas tree. So yes, I hope everyone is doing well. The knife blade is now changed. It is nice and shiny and sharp. Wait, if you buy a webcam from Logitech, will they take the watermark away? The watermark only seems to be on the mobile version. It doesn't seem to be on the desktop version. So if I get a webcam and hook through the laptop, then I shouldn't have the watermark anymore. That's the theory. Although ironically it is a Logitech webcam I'm looking at buying. So in some ways, this watermark thing has worked for them. Because, of course, for those that don't know, Streamlabs have been purchased by Logitech recently. About the same time they start showing a watermark and offering a subscription service. It's not suspicious at all, that, is it? No, not in the slightest. You're right, isn't on mine yet. Exactly, not on yours yet. I will, of course, move away from Streamlabs altogether if that does happen. There is other streaming software out there. I don't need them. Especially since they are asking $24.99 a month for a subscription that just basically gets rid of that watermark. I don't think that's worth $24.99 a month, personally. So yes, we have here a nice set of instructions for the $24.99 a month, Linny. Or you can get a discount and pay annually, and it's only $199.99 if you pay annually. You couldn't make this stuff up, could you? And all that does is get rid of, get rid of the watermark. It's madness. So yes, instructions, they're very important. And that is why we have the pin board in front of us for, oh yes, the $24 watermark. Exactly, Javier. It's just, you know, I can switch software to other free software quite happily, especially when you consider the fact that that Streamlabs software is based on the open source OBS software anyway. Good evening, Max. How are you? Yeah, just about fits in that gap there. I'll just have to move these decoders out the way. Not a problem. So I am going to read the instructions with you as we go along and do things. Doing good, no building for me today, don't have all the details. Fair enough, Max. But before we do that, I'm going to remind everyone at the start of the stream, hydration is still very important. So, we want to cut the decals as, you know, to shape reasonably close to the transfer. So we don't have loads and loads and loads of backing paper. They will then be going into the water before being able to slide off and go on the locomotive. It really is all that simple, he says. I make it sound so easy, don't I? It's not. So we have the steel rule to make sure we cut straight. We are going to start with these bits here. Which are, as you can see, the corner, short side and a long side on each of them, and they will be going on the edges of the tank to get us started. I've just realised I've not bought my duster in here, and I could use with that tonight. Give me 2 seconds, folks, because my cloth's not there either. New work table looks different. No, not a new work table at all. This is the same work table I've been using for 4 years, built out of a sheet of MDF and some folding legs. Legs off a poker table, actually. Hello all, I'm editing at the same time as dipping in and out. Good luck with the transfers, Gary. Thank you, Corbs. Good to have you here, even if you're dipping in and out. So we shall finally bring some life to this loco. I didn't go all the way to get my duster because it's upstairs. I'm hoping that's cut all the way through. I think it has. We'll soon find out, won't we? This one didn't quite go far enough. And there we have the first bit of transfer cut. Obviously the rest of them will be slightly smaller and closer to the edges than this, because I won't be cutting diagonally there. This cut here is right in next to the next transfer. So these go in the water. And whilst that soaks for about 30 seconds, we shall bring the loco over here, which has its screw links in but not secure apparently. So I should probably take them out, but not whilst I've got a transfer soaking. This is not the right brush for this, it's gone all hard on the bristles. There's a soft one, there's a soft one. We're going to give it slightly longer to soak. LBS, does the i3 have LB&SCR? It is going to have LB&SCR on it, I think. That is what I had planned. Yes, it is, because of my dates. It's going to have LB&SCR. As per this one here. Not that I'm cheating in any way whatsoever. I would, never do that. Never. I don't sit locos next to me and copy them. So there we go, the transfer is off the sheet. We just need to get it into place on the loco. We have a bit of lining. I think the only one to have LB&SCR was number 21 for like a hot second. No, they would have all had LB and SCR to start with. And I've got a picture up in front of me of number 22 with it on. So it definitely wasn't just 21. The full Monty, indeed, Alex. Remember to smash that like button. Yeah, indeed. As the chatbot says, like, subscribe, notification bell for more. You will find out when I am live. You will find out when I upload videos. I mean, it's not a secret. I do have a schedule. But hit the notification bell and it'll tell you. Whatever works, exactly. Exactly. Now this is quite a visible carrier film on here. So I'm sure you can see there. It's not nearly as visible up close as it is on the camera. According to the ever reliable wiki, the R and the and were dropped in 1911. Yeah, that sounds right, Alex. And of course, my layout being set early 1912, most locos would have still had it on. So most of them will be carrying the full LB and SCR. We'll do it this way, I think, actually. Getting as close as we can. Film seems to catch light, but doesn't look too bad at certain angles. It doesn't look too bad at all in person. I mean, once it's been sprayed with a matte varnish, I imagine it will hide away quite nicely. It's a lot more visible than I expected it to be on a gloss loco, though. Because of course the idea of painting it in gloss varnish first is that that won't show. Yeah, most likely, exactly. So we will carry on with this, and we will find out once it's been varnished, really. Because of course it will be getting sprayed with matte varnish as its final thing. which this one has not actually had yet. But this one was done properly by Linny, who knows how to do it well. So there's that. So yeah, so this is the first logo I personally have done in Umber. We again got as far as lining it. Obviously I've done other logos and put transfers to other logos. But this is the first time in Umber. Matt not saying, yes I'm here, I lurk. Hello Becca, how are you this evening? We'll be getting Matt to start with at least. Is my D1 out? Because that shows the matte finish very nicely. It does look quite good. It would appear I've actually put the D1 away. Oh no, I know where the D1 is. It's out on Brighthelmstone in the other room. Still there from when I had my photo session with it. And some terriers. It may get satin at some point depending on how I'm feeling. Most of my logos are in matte and look okay for it. And besides, I don't have any satin varnish. Okay, might not be here for long. Love seeing some lovely modelling. Okay, well, I'm glad to have you here for however long you do stick around for. And I hope you enjoy for the time you are here. That's looking really bad along these top ones. They are overlapping the rivets on the tank. Getting very tempted to add a D3 to the Aldergate roster, but I'm still undecided about adding non-widened lines companies. Oh, you know you want to. You know you need something Brighton on there. Should be a law, really. All layouts should have Brighton logos. I mean, more terriers than D3s, but still. And there we go. Two nice bits of lining that it doesn't want to focus on. There we go. Doesn't it look nice? I'm happy with it. Very happy. I want to, but money says otherwise. Oh, ignore the money. Yes, I realise easier said than done. That's not the point. Well, I could make it a D1 close to a terrier. You could make it a D1, like a terrier, but bigger, and the wrong wheel arrangement. And Southeastern Finecast. I've got at least one Brighton loco, but it's the one everyone now hates on. But don't worry, Corbs, I've got 2 E2s. I've got Stepney as well. You could have Stepney. Those indented corners on the lining are lovely. They are, aren't they? They are excellent. And a wonderful job Ian has done on the transfers. He, of course, won't be here this evening. He is on his holidays. We now have on here some much smaller corner pieces, so we can do the opposing 2 corners on this. And then we can move on to the bunker whilst we let these set. E2s are lovely, very funny things. I'm not sure I'd go as far as to call them lovely. But I do have 2 of them because, of course, they are part of collecting every Brighton engine. Well, you know, the ones that survived into Southern ownership at least, plus a few extras. Somebody said the magic word. Yeah, a few extra Brighton engines that didn't survive, like number 27, for example. Somebody might have put that on Shapeways. Can't imagine who it could possibly be. No, not my finger, in the water. Transfers go in the water. So yes, we are now approaching half an hour into the stream. I hope everybody is well. Proper loco from a proper era. Indeed, Alex. Hydration is still very important. Just like that, Alex. Exactly. I keep forgetting to pull these out. I'm going to damage them in a minute if I don't. Oh, and there is a plug for the Twitter account from the bot where you can follow me to see me promote the live stream and retweet things that are banned from talking about on the live stream. Actually, accidentally retweeted something earlier. I hope it got deleted before anyone noticed. Right, let's remember to pull these couplings out. They should not be that stiff in there. Oh, that's some paints on them. That's probably why they're stiff. Something to do with the paint. Because of course they weren't stiff when we initially made the holes. Back when it was still bare white metal. Oh, and we've broke a link off. That was silly. Intriguing. Yeah, well, it wasn't a bad retweet. It's just something I didn't mean to retweet. And it was most definitely along the lines of subjects that are not discussed on stream. There we go. That link's now secure. Mistakes were made. Yeah. Mistakes along the lines of don't retweet things until you've actually looked at who tweeted them in the first place. That is my advice for the night. Because it was much more about who tweeted it rather than the content. That is the reason I didn't want to retweet it. And there goes the end of the knife blade. That should make this fun. Usually, yeah, it is usually a good idea, but this is me we're talking about. Even more intriguing. I'm glad you find it intriguing, because I'm not telling you what it was. Or who it was. Right, I need to go take care of it. Okay, Becca. Good night. Thank you for popping by. It has been great to have you here. So I keep finding bits of insulation all over the workbench from work I've been doing over the week. And it is just everywhere. I think the workbench really needs a complete clear off and a hoover. It's a staple there. Can use them for modelling. Don't punch cameras though. It's not a good idea. So yes, I hope everyone is doing well this evening. Do we have any projects on the go? I can't remember whether I actually asked about projects earlier. I did mean to. But there we go, that's me. That's the wrong end of the brush. Don't use the wrong end of the paintbrush. It is not a good idea. And there we go. Got a list of things I want to do. Yeah, I know that. Simultaneously trying to both justify and not justify having things I shouldn't have on Aldersgate. You should have all of them, Alex. Do have to finish Hailing Island. The saloon for the inspector has to be tweaked. Hello, Stephen. It is good to see you. I did assume it was competition from the telly that was keeping you away. I actually have a question I want to ask you. I keep meaning to drop you a message on RMWeb to ask about it. But since you're here, and it's here, no one has seen this yet, other than a select few people. And good evening, Lady Alex. Welcome. How are you this evening? So yes, Stephen, I've picked up one of these, which I believe to be a 1400 class. And it does appear to be rather nicely built. So I'm not going to be taking it apart, and it's not going to be a stream project. Sprung buffers, scale couplings, everything I could want out of the logo. It's even got the motor in there and the correct gears. What it doesn't have is any wheels. Now, I know the wheels for these were rubbish and I wouldn't have wanted to use them anyway. But I have no idea what size wheels these had. So, yeah. What size wheels did these have? And what do I need to order for them? I can show you the chassis, Lady Alex. It is, interestingly, it's a plastic chassis with brass overlays, which has not been completely finished. And it appears it's designed for the pickups to go straight into the chassis side and off into the motor. Because it does have these points that come up just behind the motor to connect onto it. Ooh, yeah, I thought you might like that. Oh, I keep saying I'm not abandoning the Brighton. But Midland engines are so pretty, aren't they? So yeah, quite a lot of people haven't... I mean, this is its first proper public reveal. I've kept this one a secret. Mostly. Don't think it's appeared anywhere but my Discord. So yeah, what I need to know is what size wheels I need to get for it, because I honestly have no idea. And it's been built properly. I think that's how the chassis and pickups were designed, but I am a coach builder who doesn't know anything. Bought one of those nearly 40 years ago, haven't got it to work. That's reassuring. Very reassuring. So it says the person who's done nothing but insult the Midland and my love for it. Well, Alex, you know, I've got all these locos now, so hopefully I'll be able to pull one train. But yeah, I'm hoping there's going to be some Romfords the right size out there, but I don't know, have any idea what size wheels they take. And I think I only paid £35 for it, which I'm pretty sure is quite a bargain for one of these. So yes, the i3 now looking much prettier. The backing on that bottom corner one's really showing, isn't it? Showing quite a bit in real life as well. Alan Gibson has the right wheels. Problem is deciding which class is actually supposed to represent. $11.99. I wish. Hello, Aidan. Welcome. Welcome. How are you this evening? Yeah, Stephen, I believed it was meant to be the 1400. 35 quid is pretty good going. That's what I thought as well. I saw it on eBay, I saw it staying at that price, and I thought, well, I've got to have it for that price. It is such a pretty loco. I understand it's got a lot of compromises to share parts with the 440 they did. So yes, I was very, very happy with the price I got that for. And very happy with the build quality. Usually I buy things on eBay expecting to have to take them apart. I am very well, thank you, Aidan. Good evening, Heritage Railway Productions. How are you this evening? The commonality with the 440 isn't a problem. Fair enough. What is the problem there? As I believed it was supposed to be a 1400 class, but now you're saying that the problem is deciding which class it's supposed to be. Whilst I have lots of Brighton reference material, I don't have so much Midland reference material. Reminded me, I need to dig around my railway stuff when I get to my parents, see if the LNER lining I have is still intact. Well, I'm glad I've reminded you of something. That my stream has proved useful. I am very well, thank you. There we have the first bit of lining for the bunker. So yes, there we go. Hydration is important, says the bot. Here we are, so time getting out what became the 3Fs and if there are drawings for them. Thank you, Karen Bot. Just finished the hot chocolate. Oh, very nice, Lady Alex. Very nice. I am struggling on the hot drink front as I dropped my French press earlier, and I don't know what I'm going to do for coffee in the morning because I've got nothing to press it with. Ideas on the back of an envelope, preferably delivered tonight. Because it shattered just a lot. Not even going to say just a little bit, because it really was a lot. It went into many pieces. So yes, as I was saying, these are the fantastic lining transfers from EB Models, owned by Ian McCormack. Link in the description down below. He is, as some will know, a regular to the live streams. However, he is away on his holidays at the moment, so will not be here to join us this evening. That is not freeing up just yet, so we'll give it a little bit longer to soak. Jar of Dow Egberts, that'll last you. It would, if I could get it before I get out of bed in the morning, but that's not going to happen on a Sunday. Who needed caffeine anyhow? I must have my appropriate intake of way too much coffee every day. I don't understand how people function without the elixir of life. But there we go. So when you've got 2 kids, you definitely need caffeine. I imagine that applies to people who aren't on their own with them as well. There we go, just needed slightly longer soaking. And that pops into that corner. And there we are. Probably a lot harder than I realised. Going to keep my distance from the stuff anyways. I didn't start drinking coffee until child number 2 was born. And now I have way too much of it. Although not as much as some people I know, so I'm still okay on that front. So yes, next we shall do the opposing corner of the bunker. Again, you want to make sure you are cutting as close to the transfer as you can with these transfers from EB Models. As they do have a full coverage of backing, so wherever you cut is the amount of backing paper you are getting. Number on the box art 254 was 1400 class, 6 foot 8.5 inch wheels, 440s 306 on the box, member of the 1312 class with 66 wheels. Ah, so I assume the splashers and that weren't common then between the two kits. Do you find it easier to wet brush transfer sections or to soak them in the shallow dish? I usually use a side plate and soak them in the water there, then transfer with tweezers to the model. I usually soak them, then transfer the whole thing with the backing paper onto the logo and wet brush them off the backing paper. Unless, of course, they release before I get that far. Good evening, Christopher. Welcome to the stream, sir. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. Don't suppose you know what size leading wheels and tender wheels it needs, Stephen? I've noted down 6 foot 8.5 for the drivers. Sorry, I be late. It's not acceptable, Christopher. So you could build a 1400 class with 28mm wheels, or build one of the 1282 class that actually had 66 wheels. As far as I'm aware, both kits used the same splashers. Ah, I see. I see. But never seen a 440 in the flesh. Fair enough. Well then, as you are obviously much more of a Midland expert than I, for my intentioned late 19th century, still Victorian era, which class of loco would you recommend would be the more appropriate? I have no more info I can give you than Victorian at the moment, or late Victorian at the moment. Oh no, don't curl up on me, transfers, that's not what we want. I know a man who has both kits. Oh, very nice. I would like to have both kits one day. But at the minute, yeah, having that and my spinner keeps me happy. Oh no, I've broken off the footsteps. Keep rocking it onto them. That was silly. I imagine tender wheels are almost like 14-16mm. It seemed to be a fair standard for most companies. I agree, it would indeed. But I'd like to know for definite. Stop hitting the camera. The camera doesn't want to be hit. It hasn't done anything wrong. It's all this having things in the wrong place because of the Christmas tree that's doing it, you know. I'd never hit the camera normally. And if you'll believe that, they said, you'll believe anything. Snag is the Dealey smokebox door and chimney, which fixes condition to after 0708. Ah, can be dealt with. That is a bit of an issue, but yes, as long as it can be dealt with. Good evening, James. How are you this evening? Do approve of the tree. It's very cute. I'm glad you approve of the tree. That one normally lives on Oak Hill and features in the back of my Christmas card photos I take of it each year, of the layout each year. And it usually gets something new added to the tree each year. Last year it had a star added to the top. You can see, no, you can't see how well that went. It's not there anymore, it fell off. So I've got to replace the star. You, of course, join us as we line the i3. That was not how I wanted to do that, but I forgot to do it. I'm well, thank you. I've been busy setting up my Christmas tree and marzipan in my cake. Oh, very nice. My actual Christmas tree is sat next to the workbench where my tripod and laptop usually live. Thankfully, of course, the tripod can be positioned slightly differently because of the boom arm, which means we do not have a problem from the position, from the camera angle itself. The laptop is sat where it's much harder for me to read chat. Leading Nintendo wheels, all 4 foot 2.5 inch. Excellent. Thank you very much, Stephen. That is much appreciated. I will get some wheels for that ordered in the new year then. And once I've got all that, I will research things like liveries, because I don't know whether they carried crimson or not. I rather hope they did. I do like crimson, but if not, then they won't get it. Then it won't get it. Lady Alex, I see you talking to Luke on Discord. Can you tell him to come join the stream? I want to ask him a question. Speaking of which, any thoughts on the YouTube Rewind? I have not watched the YouTube Rewind. After the controversy that was last year's, I just decided not to bother. If you want to tell me about it though, do feel free. If it's worth giving a watch, I will. Thank you, Lady Alex. Much appreciated. 1890s, fully lined out in Crimson Lake in all its glory. Oh, excellent, Stephen. Excellent. Thank you very much. Oh, very nice. This one does not look like the glue has gone off properly under it. So let's add a bit more water. It's not as bad as last year, but they really didn't try this year, pretty much just recalling all the most liked videos. Bit boring then, yeah. That doesn't sound like my idea of what they. I mean, I understand that's how they're gonna. That's the best way for them to do it. But I've never been one for most of the most liked videos on YouTube. Last time I checked was up to 5.8 million dislikes. Stop watching Mighty Car Mods to come answer your question. Thank you, Luke. I just wanted to check because I actually have them here for you. These are the roofs you want, yes? Dug them out the other day, have them here ready for you. If those are the ones you want. You can go back to your Mighty Car Mods after answering that if you want. I will pack them up in the morrow. Or you can stay here, because I think here is better than Mighty Car Mods. 5.8 million dislikes, though. That's a lot of dislikes. Although not quite as good as last year's. Didn't it get up to like 16 million dislikes last year? Yes, they're the ones I want. Excellent. I will get them packed up for you then, Luke. They are yours, good sir. I'll stay here because transferisms. Excellent. I'm glad you're staying, Luke. So these are the EB Models transfers made by Ian McCormack, who is a regular on the stream. However, he's away on his holiday, so he won't be joining us for our first escapade into using his transfers. But as you all know, I'm a big fan of him and his company. But I have paid full price for these. Not sponsored at all in any way. People got upset over T-Series being included in the rewind, but I won't get into that. Oh, I don't know if this is better than Mighty Car Mods. Yeah, it is. No, I don't know any T-Series controversy, so I can't comment on that. I meant to put this in the water, aren't I? Yeah, I don't know about the controversy with T-Series, so fair enough, Javier. Any updates with the kit? What kit? This was a kit once. We're updating it now by adding lining. It's looking very nice. Yeah, what kit, Max? Is all I can say there. Well, the i3. Well, what updates do you want with it? It's here. It's a locomotive. We are lining it. This live stream is an update to it. I think it's because T-Series PewDiePie went on battle for most subscribers. Oh, fair enough. The only thing we haven't done, any recommendations on narrow gauge builders plates? Narrow Planet. Narrow Planet would always be my recommendation for stuff like that. How far is it to completion? Well, once the transfers are done, that's it. Relevant Allen Gibson wheels 4878M 26mm 20 spoke, not 28mm as I said earlier. Crank in line with spoke and 4849 16.5mm 12 spoke. Don't know about Romford, nearest size I suppose. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. I may well go down the Gibson Road since you've given me the model numbers there. Someone care to chuck me them over on Discord, please? Yeah, see, there we go. There's Luke with the recommendation for Narrow Planet as well. Luke's got it spot on, as with Javier. Excellent. Everyone knows it is Narrow Planet. Did you gloss varnish before you put the transfers on? I did gloss varnish before putting the transfers on. It would be silly not to. Kai, you would have thought that was in there long enough to release, wouldn't you? Tar Muchley for that lady out. There we go. And it's posted to me in another one. There we go. Everyone's posting it to me. Very helpful. Which 240 to choose depends on where the layout's going to be, geographically speaking. I haven't got that far into planning it yet. All I know is somewhere on the Midland. Would I be correct in inferring these transfers are not specific to the i3? You would indeed, James. The sheet is generic umber transfers and numbers with specific parts such as splashers for D1s and terriers and bits like that where appropriate. So it is a very nice sheet of transfers. Oh, and the donate links and Patreon links. Thank you very much for that. Do like the Midland. Yes, the Midland is great, isn't it? You get a really nice loco to carriage ratio on every train. Keep going, sir. Looking splendid. Thank you, Christopher. Oh, yes. Can't forget the kittens, James. Can't forget the kittens. There we go. That's released properly. How do you manage setting up the lining when all the sizes are not built in? I believe these are set up. These transfers are done so that you can get pretty much everything that ever wore umber. So you can see here that I've got all the corners and the longer sections are straight and the shorter sections are straight there, which have come off. So we got these long ones that we've used and these short ones that we've used, along with just the corners here. So they will then have the straight bits to infill between them. There is the bogey lining, and relevant to the i3 is this here, which lines around here underneath the smoke box. James on Port's quite a chat. One can never forget kittens, so fluffy. Exactly. I actually spent a large portion of today with a kitten cuddled up next to me. How do you get the measurements and cutting accurate? You can overlap. Corners are quite crisp, but I shall look forward to seeing the transition between the corners and the straights. You can overlap the transfers for the transition, and it does not show as from the here's one done earlier pile. I would love to tell you where the transfers overlap, but I'm honestly not sure where it is, and this one's still waiting for its final map coat over it. Midland gave you Billington, Johnson's work manager, I believe, though he had held that position at Brighton under Stroudley. I never knew Billington had worked for the Midland. That's very interesting. Yeah, I did not know that at all. Of course, Stroudley had been Johnson's work manager at Cowlairs in the 1860s. He had indeed. And before that, he had been at the Great Western. Which, yeah, everyone moans about the Great Western, but some great engineers went through there. Dude, that some swell paintwork Linny did. Linny did a fantastic job on the other i3. Completed one does look good. Yes, it does. RJ or Junior? RJ, according to Stephen's message. Yeah, I never knew he'd been at the Midland. I knew Stroudley had. Yeah, Stroudley started at Swindon under Gooch. Off to the Midland, off to the Highland. Down to Brighton. I've got a feeling there was another railway in there somewhere for Stroudley as well. Why do people moan about the Great Western? Honestly, I personally believe a lot of the people that moan about the Great Western is just because of how popular a modelling subject it's always been. That's my personal belief. I have nothing against any railway. Personally. Railways are railways are railways. So yes, these ones on this tank side should be good enough for us to put some join-in transfers on. So let's have a look at that for you, James. Didn't know he worked with Gooch. Yes, Stroudley worked under Gooch initially. Did his apprenticeship under Gooch. Even the OW&W. Yeah, I've got nothing against any railway company. No matter how obscure they are. There's nothing wrong with a bit of subtlety and variation. Something has to help. Yeah, but on that note, Javier, whilst there could be... I know people do say a lot about the Great Western and every loco being the same, and I know I joke about it as well. But look at Stroudley designs. Stroudley was a king at standardisation long before Churchwood came along and did it to the Great Western. Makes sense. The overexposure of Great Western compared to others for years and years was grating, but now it's gone the other way with saturation of southern modelling. It has indeed. And I personally think it would be wonderful for the big manufacturers to get away from the southern for a bit. I say that as a southern modeller. But the hobby needs variation, and releasing southern locos every year is not variation. There we go, I think we got it now, there we go, yes. Not even the Penn Central. Don't talk about. Not even the Penn Central. No, nothing wrong with a bit of Southern Easy. You mean Daniel Gooch from the GWR? That same Gooch? Yes, Max, I do. That's why I said the Great Western, Swindon, and Gooch. Planning a multi-guise layout set in the 1930s, convertible between Great Western and Southern. Oh, very nice. One of the N-Gauge modelers at Club does Great Western and Southern. It's very nice as a layout. There's the bot wanting the Patreon to get more people on it. Everybody's got their thing. Exactly. Gresley did a bit of it as well. He did, but again, much, much later than either Stroudley or Churchwood. Bring on the Scots. Yeah. So it'd be wonderful if they could get away from the Southern for a bit. Just it is overexposed these days. So I am going to position this one long transfer just over the side here. I'm going to make a slight nick in it that gives us a transfer that is slightly over long. And I am going to cut that off. I am then going to struggle to pick it up and put it in the water. Sink both ends. So, Stroudley locomotives. What do I have up on the layout right now? I have nothing really in improved engine green. I shall return momentarily since we are talking standardisation. And I return with the roof falling off my D1, which is not what we wanted because that's one of the examples of standardisation. Wouldn't be one of my streams without a roof falling off something, would it? Surprised I haven't stuck that down yet, actually. So I'm just going to pop these over at the back briefly. I'm sure you can already see the similarities. Whilst we come back to this lining transfer, which has hopefully now had long enough. Remember, the D1 and the Terrier are two very different locos built for different purposes. So we're just going to brush this into place. And attempt to brush my wrinkles out of it. Allocations for 2 for I's. 1400 class, mostly in the north. 8 from in the 1890s. Leeds, Carnforth, Leicester, some at Leicester and Nottingham, handful at Bristol and Brum. Totally absent from London. Okay, thank you, Stephen. That is quite helpful. I was going to model Leeds, good on ya. Yeah, I'll turn these. Not sure about the 422s as far north as Leeds, mostly London to Leicester and Nottingham, or Bristol and Derby. Well, somewhere they overlap would obviously be what I need. And so there we have it with that on. Given a bit of time to dry, the joins there should hide quite well, and that is how we fill in the gaps. I recognise the name Uckfield from somewhere. Oh wait, I live there. Oh, do you now? That's very interesting, Heritage Railway Productions. Well, if you live in Uckfield, I'm going to have to say this. I am the membership secretary at Uckfield Model Railway Club. We could always use with more members. Brum, that's my pick, but that's where I'm from. You know what? You're giving me lots of nice information. We have a couple of members at club who are from Brum as well, so somewhere around that area would be great, Stephen. So yes, Heritage Railway Productions. We meet on a Monday night from 7:30ish till about 10 on Framfield Road, just down by the station, in what used to be the Hobby Box once upon a time when Keith owned it. So do come down and say hi, and then become a member, because my job is to pull in members. Right, that's my job done. Oh, kid, exactly. I personally can't do the accent, but that is how we are how the greetings come with our two Brum members. So again, we nick that slightly. I've lost it now because it fell out my hand. Did it turn round? Let's check that is that nick that I just put in. It is. So there is that cut to size. We will dip that in the water. And yes, for railways whose all their locos look the same, there's a bit of a size difference, but they're side tanks. They've got 6 wheels underneath them. They've got the same style of cab roof, same style of dome and safety valve, same style of chimney, filler caps, and I can't remember what these were called, but they're both in the same place, same bunker style. Don't speak like that myself, I'm actually from Sutton Coldfield, where Hexel coal comes in. Yeah, fair enough. Surely the Brumming greeting, typing phonetically. Yeah. But that comes after the. Yeah, we'll get both of them. But yes, so standardisation. It's Stroudley did his job well. It looks like Kemp Town is not fully on its chassis, as I'm sure you can see. I wonder if it was like that in the photos I took the other day. But yeah, standardisation happened everywhere. Except where I used to have to read Winnie the Pooh. The accent suits Eeyore to a T. See, I can go to Winnie the Pooh land from here. That's only down the road. And of course, between them, to be even more similar, was the E1, which was roughly the same size as a D1, but was an 060. So, I don't have one of them to show you. They are coming out ready to run, so when they do, I will. But between those three locos, you've got a Suburban tank engine, an Express tank engine, and a goods engine that all look very, very similar. All his tender locos were the same, but I only have one class of those. So, yes, standardisation. It's not exclusive to the Great Western. Yes, drove through it on the way back from Uckfield. Yes, of course, you would have driven straight through it on the way back from Uckfield, wouldn't you? And of course, Stephen, that is the forest that my narrow gauge is supposed to be chopping down. That is where the logging camps were. That the original proposal was to serve. Yeah, I knew what you couldn't tell, Max. It's okay. But it's massively off its chassis. The bottom of the buffer beam should be sat down in this cutout here. Just noticed the tree. What brand it was? I believe the tree is by Knock, and the baubles on it are from the balls that go on the Christmas tree in long chains. He will be tying himself to a tree to stop the loggers. Looking forward to the mod route E1 Stroudley Goods Green so much I've been building wagons for it. You have indeed. And very nice wagons they are too. I actually think you probably have a better LB&SCR wagon fleet than me now. Because I don't have nearly as many goods wagons as I should. God, there we go. So this one really has been stuck tight, hasn't it? Also looking forward to the E1s in both Stroud deliveries, both locos that work to Cranley line. Very nice, need to get a knock light up tree. I considered, I mean, I used this tree because I had it lying around. And, you know, done up like that, it does look good in the station forecourt on the layout over the Christmas period. Don't think I'd get away with a light up one on an Edwardian era layout though. But I did that one up for the first Christmas I had that layout. So it's slowly been added to. It gets a few more balls added to it every year. It did get a star added last year, but that's come off. So I need to find something to put on it as a star again. But believe there's some E1s working on the East Coast. I have to do some digging, but that'd be a fabulous purchase. There were certainly E1s based out of Eastbourne, so it's possible, Alex. Garybot says hydration is important. It's a revelation how straightforward it was to backdate that Cambrian kit to a Billington era Open A. Indeed, I was very interested with your backdating of that kit. It's a shame my Cambrian one's already been built, isn't it? So yeah, these lining transfers are very nice. See, I've not quite lined that one up properly by the looks of it. There we go. Yes, that's better, isn't it? So I say, once these are dry, I do think they will hide their joins very nicely. We've got a battery powered one with some fibre optics in it, probably not accurate for the 1930s, but who cares? More likely in the 1930s than pre-World War One, though, Luke. Think gonna have to head, I'm afraid, off to the new flat, but got no internet, so no more stream for me. Well, thank you for coming, Linny. It has been great having you here. Enjoy being at the new flat, and I hope your internet isn't too far behind you, because I know what life without internet is like. I did not enjoy it. So yes, good night and thank you for coming. So let's finish off this panel, ladies and gentlemen. We've got two more small transfers to do, one at each end. So as before, we're getting experts at this now. We'll just work out the size by eye, put a little nick in there that is slightly over length. And then use that little nick to show us where to cut and dip it in the water. Cambrian kit is under £10, you can have more than one. In fact, the Open A in all its guises was the most common Brighton wagon. It was indeed, and I now have... I have 7 Open A's now. I'm starting to think I need to add some other good stock to my fleet. Because otherwise I'll just be running a few PO wagons and a load of Open A's. I'm primarily trying to build up stock now for the exhibition layout, Hailsham. But Hailsham only saw 2 goods trains a day. So I don't need, I only need enough to fill 2 goods, or potentially only enough to fill 1 goods train, or 1 and a bit. But I think 7 is probably approaching a good number of A's to have to start adding in some other bits. I need a few D's to go with it. Need a couple of covered vans, but I do have some kits for covered vans from Linny. And I've got plenty of brake vans now as well, of both Stroudley and Billington design. Again, Billington brake van from Linny. The Stroudleys, of course, are scratch built, as was the done in the earliest of the streams. Need that Midland 13 good chance. It's Ollie. Yeah, I will indeed need to have at least one D299 in there. I've got a it's post World War One. Everything's still in pre-grouping livery, but I'm not sure if it's a case of it is actually still pre-grouping or just after the grouping of it. It's a loco in outside in Eastbourne. Couple of roads of the goods yard can be seen, and there are more D299s there than there are Brighton wagons. I don't know what they had that many D299s there for, but yeah, there is more of them in shot than there is Brighton wagons. I will have to dig that photo out at some point. My only shots of Hailsham don't show enough detail to show what wagons are in there. So I'm pleased to hear your donated iron is performing sterling service tonight. I am very, very happy to hear that, Christopher. Speaking of Linley and Billington Breakdown, gone off to bed before I could pick my bone of him for bagging Seth's last Billington goods at Uckfield. Didn't have any at Worley either. Oh no. Ah, that is indeed a shame, Stephen. You'll have to ring and get some. Let's have a look here. Billington Brake Van ×2. These are Linny kits, Stephen. Oh dear. They're a bit all over the place in the box. But I do have 2 of these kits for Billington Brake Vans. They are test kits, so they may have errors and they have no instructions, but I personally think it would be beneficial to Linny to have 2 different people do the test builds. So if you would like one of these, let me know. The Seth folk said they were about to sell up to Squires, so new production of kits was up in the air. Does that make it? I did not know that at all. That it's not been that long since they purchased Newcast, and they're still working on reintroducing those. I had no idea about that. I'll be having to have words with people at club. There's bound to be someone that knows. Ooh, Linny kits, perhaps he's forgotten. I can cope with errors and no instructions. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, in that case, yes, I will drop me a PM over on RM Web and I will get one posted out to you. Because, of course, you know, you do much better write-ups of builds than I do. So if I get one sent off to you, then I'm sure Linny will appreciate the feedback. Maybe a complete misunderstanding. It possibly, as someone at club is bound to know, so I will ask the question tomorrow night. Is Linny considering kits in TT gauge? No, Max. Linny makes kits for Linny. The fact they are available for other people is a nicety of Linny. They are all made for what Linny wants. I've thrown me tea towel I'm using to dry up the water away. There we go, got it. It sat on my legs. I picked it up and threw it when I got up to go find that kit. Yes, I have absolutely no problem sending one of them on. Can you imagine myself damaging paintwork if I did that? What, where I'm putting a nick in the transfer, Max? Not heard of this SE Finecast. No, so Seth might be heading to the Great Kit Graveyard in the sky. Marvellous. Well, I mean, if it is a case of selling to Squires, Alex, then no. I mean, Squires would keep production going. If anything, it will give them more exposure because of the amount of exhibitions that Squires attend. In regards to the... I knew the no problem was in regards to the Linny question. If I need you to explain something you've said, Max, I will ask. It was your comment about the paint. Yes, putting a nick in the transfer. Yeah, I can see why you'd be worried about that. Because the paint is on. There's 2 coats of paint and a coat of varnish on there. And I'm only going into the top of the transfer, not into the loco. Because I'd probably damage the paintwork if I cut the transfer on the loco. Bit too much water there. No, this one does not want to come off yet, does it? Squires purchased everything great from the club exhibition. The implication was that Squires were taking it on as a going concern. Perhaps they're just taking on distribution. I've not seen anything elsewhere. Could be. Yes, that would make sense. I mean, that is Dave's full-time job, is running Southeastern Finecast. All the toolings and stuff live in the workshop attached to his house. Given a nice phone call in advance, you can go down and tour the Southeastern Finecast workshops and have a look at all the toolings and mouldings and how everything's made. He's always been more than happy to do that, so it would be a shame if he did sell up to someone else who wouldn't be able to do that. Yes, as Max says, hydration is important. God, this one really is stubborn, isn't it? Still not wanting to come off. There we go. Some movement, which means I can get the end there. I'm not on the transfer anymore. There we go. And we have one panel fully lined. I am very happy with that. Just one more point motor to wire, the others are functional. That is brilliant, Christopher. For those that don't know, Christopher was recently a guest on the stream. But very recently, in fact, it was only last week, and we started work on wiring up his layout for him. So we had a very fun night. It was absolutely wonderful, that live stream. So yes, he's obviously now finishing off what we started last week. The Squires are quite local to you, aren't they? I honestly don't know where Squires are based. PM sent re Linny Billington break. Brilliant, Stephen. Thank you very much. I will deal with that as soon as I can. Speaking of Dave's Workshop, does he have ownership of the Newcastle moulds, or are they elsewhere? He owns him and Branch Lines co-own Newcastle between them. So they get on, they make the things between them. I don't know where the moulds live. I do know that in the past, if anyone that has wanted stuff that hasn't been officially reintroduced from them, it has been Dave they've contacted. So it may be that they are at his workshop. I mean, they're not far away from each other, so they're in one of their workshops. Very nice job. Thank you, Max. Well done. That looks fantastic. Thank you, Christopher. Transfers looking very impressive. Full Midland will be a doddle to you. Thank you, Stephen. That is very much appreciated. I look forward to having some locos in full Midland livery because it is so nice. Squires of Bognor Regis. They're very local to me then. Bognor is just down the road, of course. Did the exhibition there in January. God, that was only January this year I exhibited at Bognor with one of the club layouts. And it was a nice little show. I got a terrier from there. Every show I get a terrier is a good show. And we came home after the first night and went back in the morning, so that's how close it is. So yes, we will put a nick in there. What have I done? No, they're over this side of me. That makes no sense. The tools live on the other side. And I have this weird perception that everyone seems to think my workbench is tidy, so I should put things away. Bognor is a very LB&SCR place. It is. My terrier that came from there is in a very unique livery, though. And it's not actually in the livery yet. I still need to make the proper transfers for it. So it is currently wearing paper cutouts to make sure I was making enough transfers and getting all the shapes right. Because I've not actually made transfers for a terrier before. Oh, I have. Tell a lie. I've made umber ones. So yes, it's wearing LB&SC lined black. Or, will be when it's not just overlays to make sure I'm making everything properly. Which is obviously a very different livery. And was indeed accurate on this loco for 1912. So will be very nice when it is done. Oh, and there comes the Patreon and donate links from Alex. Thank you very much, Stephen. My bedtime, last trip for pre-1907 Midland Locos, Slater's plastic card doing an etch of the cut-out brass numbers. Apologies, rumour reset, but I thought you might like to know. You might know, Nigel. Good night, Stephen. Thank you for coming. I will ask at club about South Eastern Finecast tomorrow, and I shall update everyone next week. That seems like the appropriate place to do it since it's started here. Had to get the door. What have I missed? That depends on how long ago you went to get the door, Javier. I've contacted Dave. I know he shared Newcastle branch lines, and Seth have reintroduced some kits and distributed others, but not much else. Yeah, they have a lot of the stuff. There is some stuff he says is missing. They're still going through things. For example, the Brighton K class. I spoke to him about that at Uckfield because I got my one there. He said, "Oh yeah, I apparently own the masters for that, but I can't find them anywhere." So he's not sorted everything, but you never know. You might. Oh, a good 10 minutes. Well, in 10 minutes. You've missed some rumours that South Eastern Finecast might be selling to Squires. Which I'm going to speak to people I know and see if we can get a confirm or deny on that. And you have missed the tank side being fully lined. That needs a bit longer under the water. That's not a problem. Oh my indeed. But yes, so we now have focus camera. Fully lined tank side. I must say, I'm very happy with it. Very happy indeed. Do get the scoop. That sounds interesting. Yes, I will. So there will be people at club who know. If stuff like that's happening, they will know. Because South Eastern Finecast are obviously very local company to us, being based in Forest Row. Why, thank you. I will take a bow. You won't see me because I'm behind the camera, but I am bowing. Oh, and that's not... Ah, no. The transfer is upside down. There we go. Rescued from oblivion. I think the fact I can do that is testament to how good Ian's transfers are. It's a bit too much water around there. So let's just dry that up a little bit. And get it back into place. Once again, once it's dry, it's going to be hard to tell where the joins are. So, although Ian's not here tonight, we should all thank him for making such wonderful transfers. And we should all run down to the description down below, click on his website and get ordering. because I think they were quite cheap as well. I honestly can't remember, I've had them a while. I bought these along with a few sets of number plates, including the ones for Uckfield here. So, other than painting the gloss varnish on this loco this week, this entire build has been on camera, which I always think is absolutely fantastic. And we're getting to a point now where we're seeing the lining going on, starting to see the finished product right from the kit. And I really do think that's a fantastic thing to have as a record for posterity. It also means we can work out exactly how long this build has taken me. Remembering there were probably 3 episodes, so 9 hours, of struggles with the chassis because of the modification I was making to it. So of course the kit would be even a bit quicker if built as designed, which the next one will be. I believe when we started this, we were actually still in the teens for number of streams I'd done, and we're now at 36, which seems a bit mad to me. "36 streams in, that's a lot of hours, and you guys have made it all absolutely wonderful. So I would like to thank you all for that. It has been very much appreciated, and I look forward to carrying on even longer. Of course, you know, if you think about it, we're not that far off the year now. So we started these back in March. So I think when we do hit that year, we'll have to come up with something special to do on the stream and also in the video for that week to mark 1 year of Let's Build. Because of course, in fact, whilst this is episode 36, something I am forgetting, and always forget when I'm numbering these things off, is that we did in fact start with episode 0. That doesn't want to go there, it wants to go up the top here. So this is the 37th live stream. And on the week we do hit the year, I shall probably release a video on the exact date that marks 1 year of Let's Build. Paint the terrier blue and white to match the channel art. Oh, a blue lightning terrier. I do like that idea. I do like the idea of a blue terrier. Blue terrier, white lining, and Oak Hill as its name. I like that idea. Even if Oak Hill, the logo, does already exist. Here we are at 11 o'clock, entering the final hour of tonight's stream. I'd like to remind you all that hydration is indeed very important. And GaryBot 3.0 would like you to donate to help fund the channel. Link in the chat. Have to be electric blue. No. It would have to be Oak Hill blue. Which is Humbrol number 25. No. 25 is not. 25 is my narrow gauge. Oak Hill blue is Humbrol number 104. I have 2 tins of it. I do like that idea, Max. You might be onto something there. We'll see if we can get my lining ability up to a point where I can paint the lining on it. I actually really like that idea, Max, so thank you for that. I'm looking at this terrier now and just picturing how it would look. So yes, how is everyone doing as we enter the final hour of the stream? I hope you are all still well. Hope you're all still, a good number of you are still with us by the looks of it. Still got 12 people here, which I think is a great number personally. Others might not be happy with that. I'm very happy with that. Sitting here with my friends. It would have been about this time last year that this microphone actually arrived. As it was a Christmas present to myself last year. And then the time from Christmas until the live stream starting was lots of me sitting around and changing my mind on what I wanted to do on YouTube. I did even film some videos. Which were not very good, and you're never going to see them. So don't ask. Still stuck with reading, may start the Craven Tank after the stream. Fair enough. Uni work is important. I was attempting to unsolder some buffers to recycle another project, but no matter what temperature I set the iron on, they wouldn't budge, even with flux added. Oh, well that's not good. Have you tried It's going to sound a bit crazy, but have you tried putting a bit more solder in? Because sometimes that liquid solder going in can help the solder that is already there melt and allow you to remove the buffers. Alex, it is worth trying. Really, nearly a year since Run Round Gate then. Indeed, Christopher, nearly a year since Run Round Gate. And would you look at that, we have just the right sized piece left to do this last little bit of lining. And have the tank and bunker on this side lined. I haven't no, but I can try tomorrow. Well, hopefully that does the trick for you. I've had some things that wouldn't unsolder before, where just dropping a tiny bit of extra solder in there has made them come straight off. So I do hope that works for you. What's Run Round Gate? But blame RM Web, Luke. That's all I'm saying. Blame RM Web. It was a bad time. But aren't you glad you survived Run Round Gate and Christopher, and that things have turned out the way that they have? So yes, I think once this is done, I think we should get an identity on this loco. I know technically it has an identity because we've got the build plate with the number on it, but we should get some ownership on here and a number. I can't remember what it is. I'll have to read it off. In fact, I've got it written down on the box. Number 28, as chosen by James Pets. I am indeed, sir. I am glad you are pleased. And it must also mean, Christopher, that it must be about a year since that first time I dropped into one of your live streams when you were flying an aeroplane on War Thunder. And we had our first proper chat. And so began the time of me turning up to lots of your live streams with lots of other people and being convinced that, you know, that was the beginning of convincing me that live streaming was the best way to do this YouTube thing. Scary thought that, isn't it? Give that slightly longer in the water because it doesn't want to come off yet. I even eventually went through some of your old videos, which I expect are going to appear on the Black Falcon Models web channel at some point. Words. I can word. Car, you scared me there, Alex. Had my ear reasonably close to the phone when it just started vibrating there when you sent that photo of whatever it is. And there you go again, sending another one. I wasn't quite as close to the phone that time, though. Did anyone see where that went? There it is, it's in the bunker. Is indeed very, very odd to think. Yeah. Oh, Max, my hydration vessel is currently empty. I'll have to refill it. But you are correct. Hydration is very important. And there we are. 2 panels, fully lined out. Not quite as well as Linny did. But there we are. So yes, let's refill the hydration vessel. I'm honoured that you were inspired by my humble and awful War Thunder stream. Well, I do seem to remember I was the only one that turned up to that and you switched over to model railways on that first stream, and we talked trains as well. Used to really enjoy your streams, such a laugh. Indeed they were, Alex. They were a great laugh. They were such a great laugh, I thought this is what I want to do. I want to be a streamer. Not just a video maker. And now here I am. And thank you, Alex, for the Twitter, Discord and website links. Very much appreciated. And as Max pointed out, hydration is very important. Your live streams were not awful, Alex. You should do more. Go read Madame Noir to us all again. The updated version, obviously. Right, it is those ones, that's what I thought. I can't wait till I'm on a chair that doesn't need to scrape along the floor to get back to the workbench. But yes, Lady Alex, read us more Madame Noir, because I really can't get enough of your voice. It is such a wonderful voice. Well, not to self-promote Lady Alex, but you should come along again. We certainly still have a laugh. We do indeed, and you should, and you are welcome to self-promote Mr. Christopher. As you know, that is why you have a command in the chat to do that. It is the least I can do for all the hard work you do moderating for me. Maybe once it's fully rewritten and published, I'll do an audiobook. Definitely. Definitely should. I should write my book at some point. I'll finish writing my book at some point. It's still about 50 pages long. Which I think I managed in the first week after being asked if I would be willing to do it. Forgot that. You forgot your own link? Car. Terrible. I put these things in for you and you just forget. You have 4 working points. Fantastic. For a minute there, that didn't quite look like the spacings were the same. They are, don't worry. I might start my book at some point. Get on with it then, Luke. Is your book a model railway book? It is a model railway book, Max, and I was asked to do it by a company that publishes books. Yes, Lady Alex is working on a mystery novel, and it is a... So she keeps rewriting it, but what I've seen of it was I really enjoyed, so... I don't know what it's like now, but I expect it's really good. So yes, Alex is writing a book and then going to find a publisher, I believe. Whereas I have a publisher and no book. Tell us about your kitten adventures this afternoon, incidentally. I was round my brother's. He had to pop out and I happened to be sitting on his sofa watching over my children and one of his. And his cat decided to come up and spend its time with me for some reason, the crazy feline. So yes, I spent the afternoon sat on a sofa with a cat curled up against me. It's quite odd. I've never known a cat do that before. Got to think about what I'm going to put in there first. It's going to be a whole chapter on coupling systems. Well, what is your book going to be about then, Luke? Bearing in mind you know what mine is to be about and the fact I have a publisher for it. The adorable... It was indeed an adorable fuzzy, James. Did it purr? Much. It purred muchly. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had any affection like that off a cat. I suppose all the dog smell on me must be gone by now. For those that weren't here for the early streams, I used to have a dog. And she used to join the streams, come and lean up against the tripod. And just knock the camera constantly. And that was back when the vision was still far away from what I was doing. It's going to be about my adventures in the world of railway modelling. Fair enough, Luke. Fair enough. Again, bear in mind I've got a very similar book in progress and a publisher. I should do a cat-based live stream one day, but all my locos are dogs. They're all terriers. So buying that book when it gets published. Well, I knew you would, Max. No, I've even been allowed to keep the Let's Build branding on my book. Before anyone asks, no, you can't know who's publishing it. But they never gave me a time limit to get it written by, so... Set in the early 20s, sequel proposed early 21st. Oh, there's actually going to be a sequel, is there, Alex? Excellent. Madame Noir 2 Electric Boogaloo. Oh, there's a reference I haven't made for quite some time. Why can you not know? You can't know because I am not at liberty to divulge that information. Just know that it is someone you will have heard of. Are you going to dedicate your book to your brother's cat? Hadn't really considered dedicating it to any... Well, I had, actually. But not to the cat. But yes, that is what I had considered a dedication for the book, but not to the cat. To people. Plural. And those are the people I would consider being responsible for this book existing. And that is, of course, the wonderful people that come and view my stream every week. They're the ones that will get the book dedicated to them. Gary, since he's the one who has a brother, has a cat, but if you're also connected to a cat, the question can equally apply to you. Cats greater than people. Why should I include pictures of my cat when she was still alive? Dude, did you not know I had a sequel? I remember those times in Chris's streams with a certain someone. I did not know you had a sequel planned, no. As far as the workbench, you could dedicate it. Also dedicate to what font did the GWR use? No idea, Max. I'm sure the cat would watch your streams if they also featured more mice. Again, they feature dogs. You know, we've got a larger number of terriers that run around my stream. That might put the cats off. So there is our very visible backing paper that Linny spent a long time warning me about and telling me to make sure I glossed it so we didn't see it. I'm hoping it goes away a bit because it is still quite visible. Evening, Gary, watching you on my TV. Woo! Good evening, Killian. I'm a TV star with... Oh, God, I've just looked over at my preview screen and seen the Streamlabs watermark, and it's made me sad. How are you this evening, Killian? I hope you are doing well. Right, that's the numbers we use. Okay. Just cheating again and looking at this already cut sheet to see what numbers we use. Had a cat on your stream a while back in the form of... Oh, of course! Lion is a cat. Wish I could have a cat, but we have people in the family that are allergic, not mentioning names. Well, no one needs you to mention names. People can be allergic, it's not their fault. I mean, Killian. Apparently you can take low-tack tape and stick it over the transfers, then peel off the backing paper. Interesting. Very well, thanks, Harry. Excellent, Killian. Glad to hear that. Sorry if the purr is worth sneezing. I'm not sure I'd agree entirely there, James. Comic Sans, I believe. Oh dear, Corbs. Didn't expect to have you here joining in on Great Western bashing. Yeah, GWI use Comic Sans. It's pretty grouping. Oh, you're both evil. You're both evil. It's one thing to wind up people about Great Western stuff. It's quite another to inflict more Comic Sans on the world. There we go, we have some numbers. Sure to you, Javier. Or are you? Figured it was a joke. Hi, you're approaching me. Instead of modelling Seaford, you're approaching me. Just remind everyone mod abuse is a thing. He's right, you know, everyone. Mod abuse is a thing. You can abuse the mods. Oh, wait, is that not what you meant, Christopher? Hey, Seaford, want to get that out of the way. I want you to get Seaford out of the way as well, because, you know, I want one. I understand, Chris, been there, done that myself. Any plans to have 3D printed station cats in any of your layouts? Oak Hill has a station dog modelled after my dog. At the moment, other than the working horses and the sheep, it's the only animal I've got. By the way, if you need a reference, I want you to imagine I sound a lot closer to Joey on that show. I'm a modern S&T mainline lift plate productions. Hear you in terms of power. What, do you get abused there as well, Max? Because mod abuse is a thing. I think I'd be a vengeful mod. Yeah, I am a mod on streams as well. Mod abuse is normally carried out by me on those streams. I'd like to claim I am a fair mod. I'm not sure everyone would agree with me. Improper use of there, banned. Do we have to ban you for improper spelling of use, Corbs? Sheep. I'm the mod. Yeah, but mod abuse, so we can all abuse mods. I heard Christopher say it. Just going to add a tiny bit more water on there, just to keep it moving. And there we are. It's good there aren't any rockers here. You're fine, yeah, if you say so. Well, and there's our other mod, Mr. Alex, with the Patreon and donate links. Why, thank you very much for posting those. It is very much appreciated. And there is a link to the Discord saying 2 instead of 2 bad. Oh, well, I'll be banned straight away then, Corbs. I'm constantly putting the wrong one and not bothering to correct myself. So, any idea what wheels you may use for the new engine? Not yet. I haven't even looked up what size I need yet, have you? But yeah, I shall go through the Romford and Gibson ranges and see what's there. When it comes time to doing that, they shall be my first ports of call. But as yet, I have not looked up anything for it. Ban myself for my mistakes. Fair enough, Corbs. Fair enough. The thing is, I never even noticed you'd spelt it wrong until you posted it again. I'll tell you that in a hot second. I've got it all down in the book. I just haven't looked it up yet. How do you make someone a mod on YouTube? In the chat, if you're on a live stream like this, in the chat you can literally click next to their comment and click on make moderator. Oh no. Trailing wheels are 2 foot something, could say 2'4". And honestly, Luke, I don't know how to make someone a mod on the new Creator Studio back-end thing. I've not had a need to look it up yet. That 2 is not looking particularly straight to me. There we go. It's also looking like it's got some water under it. Right, we'll give the 8 a little bit longer. Starting the next project tomorrow. Oh. And what's that next project going to be, Killian? I'm sure I already know, but my brain does not like to do the brain thing. It's going to make Corbs a mod for if when I do live streams. Got to get him to turn up first, Luke. Right, so it's 3-2 drivers and 2-4 trailing. God, they're tiny, aren't they? Even the Terrier wheels are 4 foot. But I imagine Scale Link will have something appropriate. And if not, I'm sure Gibson will. Oh yes, the boxy Grinstead one. Yes, I did know you were doing that next because you mentioned it. Excellent. More Cravens is the best type of Cravens. You know, John Chester Craven, not that company that made D-Muse. And we have an identity. Number 28 is alive with 25 minutes left. By the way, maybe getting some Triumph TT stuff for Christmas, woo. So Cited a rare 1950s flying train set, a Ginty and 2 suburban coaches plus an overload track and controller. I wouldn't call any Triang TT stuff rare, to be honest, Max. So those 13mm for a purchase, but the math works out 12.7mm diameter drivers. God, that is absolutely tiny, isn't it? Totally Tick Craven. Yes, he was. John Craven from Country File. He's never made locos, so... The controller is a battery controlled genuine TT terminal track piece. Again, it's not rare, Max. I can go down the model shop and get loads of Triang TT because they've got loads of it in there. I approve of number 28. I'm sure you do, James. Of course, you chose it. There we go. Corbs is a moderator on my channel. Hope you're going to make me a moderator on your channel, Luke. Because, you know, I like being a moderator and having power. And I never abuse the power. Never. Super excited. I'm sure you are. Will be cool to see what you do with it. So, who's ready to go insane? Please answer with a wibble. Because I'm going to do this, which is the lining just around here. And it very much comes with a wibble. Because of the shape of this, I'm just going to cut a large section around it and get it off the sheet so we can then cut it down without risking going over anything else. I don't know about that. Well, I'm first in line. When I get back to streaming, Gary, you can be my moderator. Yay! I feel like Jafar in Aladdin when he gets his genie power. Insane. Well, ahead of you on that. It's very wibbly lining. It is indeed very wibbly lining. Thanks. Its restoration will be shown on your Discord server. Speaking of Discord, way, thank you for the Discord link there, Max. Much appreciated. Don't forget you've got those RM web threads you can post to as well. Because I do follow your stuff there. I was doing that where I was doing it so that it was on camera, and then looked at the camera and realised it wasn't on camera. I'm a pro streamer. No problem. Okay, thank you, Matt. So I was wondering what the no was for there. Changing it to no problem makes sense. Don't worry, TTisms will be shown there too. Fair enough. I do hope everyone, when they read my comments on Discord, reads them in my voice. Because, you know, what's the point of being a streamer and having everyone know what your voice sounds like if they're not going to read your comments in your voice? Especially the stuff I say that I put on a silly voice for. I definitely want you to read that in my voice. Of course, it was the silly voice I put on for Yay that made me think of that. I don't. Well, that's just a shame, Luke. That is a genuine shame. I think you should change your ways and read them all in my voice. Oh, I'll be going with Batten Dynamics Ultimate for my new layout. Cool. So you're not totally anti-Backman then? After your comments the other day about them? That was random. Everything is random. Got to go now. Night. See you next stream. Okay, Heritage Railway Productions. Good night. It has been great having you here. And remember, you could always see me at the Upfield Model Railway Club. Monday nights. Framfield Road. 7:30 till 10ish. You don't have to stay for the whole thing. But since you're local, I've got to promote it. It is my job as membership secretary. Oh yeah, spoke to the bloke at Batman. He said all the problems I had been having have been fixed now. Fair enough. I mean, I'm sure it's his job to say that, but yeah, fair enough. Hydration is important, everybody. It is at this point in the stream, with 15 minutes left, that Gary realised at some point tonight he had knocked the charger out and his phone only had 22% battery left. Oops. Don't be doing that. So this is going to be fun. I'm not sure if you can tell how small this bit here is, but that is my finger next to it. It's not very large. In fact, I might put the glasses on. Cool, we all make mistakes. Yeah, it'd be less cool if my phone died and the stream ended. Because my phone had died and it just cut out on you all. That's not what we want to happen. There we go. The world has entered high definition. God, it really has. I always forget just how much these... I always forget just how much these improve my vision. Being blind constantly, I forget I'm blind. Oh, I'm not actually blind, by the way. Feel I should point that out. I would really appreciate it, Transfer, if you could do the coming off thing. Give it a bit longer in the water, shall we? And Gary Bot has made it all the way around through its messages and wants you all to smash that like button or give it a gentle tap. Of course, I currently see 12 people. I have no idea how many likes there are because I don't have that page open. But it'd be nice if it did match it. So, you know, if you haven't yet, it would be really appreciated if you do give that like a hit. It does help the channel. And yes, whilst you're there, if you're not already subscribed, that would be very much appreciated. Subscriber numbers have been going through the roof recently, and I cannot tell you how happy it makes me to see so many subscribers. And, of course, remember to hit that notification bell, because YouTube doesn't think that people that are subscribed want to be subscribed. 11. Oh, 11 likes, 12 views. Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Thank you, guys. That makes me very happy. Would a possible purchase that might not work on a certain bidding site go in Works Chatter or Modelling Showcase? I'm still struggling to compute things. It would go in the Works Chatter. It's an eBay purchase. It's not modelling. When you are modelling something, it goes in the Modelling Showcase. How many kitten-based subscribers have you? I don't know, unfortunately. I have to make that 12. Excellent. This is what I like to hear. You guys are awesome. Right, it is definitely detached now, because it did come off slightly as I was pulling it out. So of course, there we go. It's moving. And it's off. And it's on. We did it. How many? Got a short on the double slip. That's no good. We'll discuss it tomorrow, Christopher, with photos and such forth, and I'll see if I can help you with that. Because, for some reason, I have the wiring diagram for the double slip here. How many people on this Discord server in any case? Last time I counted, James, it was 17. Hydration is very important. Yeah, I could be wrong, but last count there was 17 people on there. as I say, it makes me very happy. See so many people interested in what I'm doing, be it through likes on here, just turning up to here and seeing the numbers, or joining the Discord and staying with the chat all week long. That's several. Yes, it is indeed several. So there's a few Discord servers I'm a member of. None of them are as active as mine, and again, that makes me happy because we are building a community here. Gary, you have those 3D printed buffers, right? A set of hollow ones. No, I do not have 3D printed buffers. Not hollow ones, anyway. The only 3D printed buffers I have are some Stroudley carriage buffers that Linny printed on the Photon. So, with 10 minutes to go, let us cut off a bit of this rather thin transfer of about that length. That should be too long, hopefully. See if we can't finish the lining on this section. Time for bed, methinks. Nighty at night. Good night, Corbs. We'll of course be finishing in 10 minutes anyway. So yes, I agree. Bedtime looms. So thank you for coming. It has been great having you here. Tonight, more chat for myself on the Discord. Have a good one. Good night. Max as well, then. Is anybody have a set in that case? I'm going to try and hollow the ones that are going on the Craven tank in case anyone wants to spring them. I make mine solid generally. They're tiny enough as it is. If you make some hollow ones, I would like them as a separate print now that I already have one of the Craven tanks coming, because I do like sprung buffers. He says as he looks at his 4 locos that are here without sprung buffers. But because I use scale couplings, sprung buffers are actually genuinely useful. Because, you know, if I'm propelling wagons or carriages, they are buffering up to each other. And so the springiness on them helps prevent buffer lock on corners. Never believed in sprung buffers in a scale as small as 4 mil. Oh, I can understand that point of view, Killian, definitely. Maybe the book should have a sequel if the first one is popular enough. You have to write your book first before thinking about sequels to it, Luke. That'd be an issue because of how high the buffers on the Craven tank actually are. Oh, really? Did it have high buffers, did it? I mean, that tank will be getting its own rake of Craven stock to pull. I actually know what diagrams were used on the Polegate to Hailsham line when it was doing that. So it will be having the correct stock behind it when it is done. And they will be the only things it ever pulls, most likely. And in fact, saying that, it will probably never propel them. It will come into the station, run round and come back out. So, we're going to attempt to line this where I have already stuck a pipe in front of. That was clever of me. Ooh, yes, ooh, indeed. I can get a set of hollow buffers if I can figure out how thick to make the walls. Excellent. That would be appreciated. As I say, it probably won't be propelling, so it won't actually be of any real issue. But it would be nice if it's possible. They'd probably be heckin' fragile. I would expect so, yes. Right, it is 3 minutes to midnight. Come on, transfer. You've got... There we go. It's come off this time. Onto my hand. It's not quite what I was after, but it'll do. I think it's safe to say this lining will not be going on here tonight. But I'm not quite at the point of giving up. Okay, now it's too twisted. Or is it? He says. Now we play that juggling game between you being able to see and me being able to see. I'm calling that done. It is lined. Excellent. So we have lined one side tank, one bunker, we have lettered and numbered, and we have even lined the front of the frames. How is that? There's a lot of chat to catch up on now before we end the stream, so let's do that. Next one, I think, has leather buffers. Need to check the drawings. It doesn't. I can probably get away with putting the Seaford buffers on it. Well, that makes your life easier. That's always good. Yeah, the buffers are the sort you see on the Terrier. Don't know how difficult it would be to hide them like so. Oh, yeah. That would be very difficult. Very, very difficult. Naughty lining. Indeed, it was naughty lining, but we got there in the end. Thanks, I narrowed the problem down to one frog. Excellent, Christopher. That is good to know. That's fantastic. Thank you. Did you know I have a Twitter account? Yes, did you know I have a Twitter account? Go check it out, because the bot wants you to check it out and give me a follow there as well. It's 12 o'clock. Good night, sirs. It is indeed 12 o'clock, Killian, so we are wrapping up for the evening. Covered a lot of ground. Well done. Yes, I am very happy with what we've got done in 3 hours. I'm very, very, very impressed with that. Night, mate. Good night, Javier. So, yes, thank you for coming, everyone. You have been wonderful as always. We have made this feels like a lot of progress we've made here. I'm starting to see more and more of the backing of these lining transfers now that they're drying out. I'm really hoping the varnish takes that away. I shall see how it looks in the morning. But yes, thank you for coming. You have all been wonderful as always. I am really happy with the progress we've made. It has been great hanging out with you all. So all that is left for me to say is obviously good night, everyone. There will be a video on Tuesday and Thursday for you to enjoy. But other than that, if I don't see you on the Discord, I'll see you next week here at the workbench. Good night, and thank you for coming.